Hi guys, welcome to our meeting 2. So today our focus is about prose, is about one of the literary genre, and we are going to discuss definitions and also the elements of prose. Okay, so today's outline is, first I'm going to review what you have answered in our G form, that is about what is literature, and also about definitions of prose, and followed by elements of prose, and each of the element will be discussed. I will briefly show you the definitions of theme, character and characterization, plot, and also point of view. But actually all of the information in this slide, you can find it in our handout, the PDF file that I shared you last week. Okay, let's begin. Okay, when we talk about what is literature, then it also means that we discuss definitions of literature. Okay, and then last week I gave you the questions, what do you know about troubling of definitions? Well, I'm surprised most of your answer are quite good, good actually, very good. Seems that all of you understand that the issue of divining literature is because there are many definitions about it, right? So therefore the definitions of literature become sort of troubling. Yeah? Okay, so here are some of your friends answer. Let's move on. When we also discuss about what is literature, we also discuss, or we also mean to say that we discuss about what is the function of literature. So definition is it's not only about the definition, but also when we talk about definition, then we also discuss about what is the function of literature. Okay, Kush in 2016 argues that literature can function within the society, right? So therefore the study of literature becomes interesting because to some extent it can also reveal what is happening in the society, along with the culture, along with the political views, and so on and so forth. Okay, so here are some functions of literature. You can read in detail in your handout, but I want to highlight that here literature conveys knowledge, teaches morals, right, and also announce new ideas, record revolutions. If you notice that there are some literary works talking about the historical moment or talking about the post-colonial issue, so at the same time it also records the revolutions, and also test the limit of cultural values and show us the best and the worst self, right? These are the functions of literature. So you can imagine when literary works are read or enjoyed by the society, where at least these can show, yeah, these can teach, these aspects can be learned from literary work. Okay, so some other functions are about literature encapsulates human experience, record the messy, painful, triumph, and so on and so forth, right? Yes, this is also correct. You can name certain literary works, then you can see how the literary work actually summarize us the human experience, and along with the society, what is it, the experience that is conducted in a certain society, or experience that is found in certain society. Okay, now here Kush also say that literary or literature offers us human life in total, right? So it gives us perception, perspective. Yeah, it gives us depictions of life, right, with its inconsistent logic, morality, identity on full display. Of course, when we talk about life, we also talk about the complexity of life itself, right? So therefore, when we read literary works, we are offered with human life stories, we are offered with experience of human life, yeah, including the good and the bad side, right? The issue of morality, the issue of identity, and so on. Alright, so when we talk about what is literature, we also talk about the works, yeah. We also talk about the karya sastra, right? In this case, when we talk about sastra or literature, yeah, people are debating about this term, yeah. There is a literature with uppercase L, yeah, and also literature with lowercase l. Yeah, what does it mean? In the word in bahasa Indonesia, it is also known as like karya besar, ya, karya agung atau canon, right? Canon is known as the uppercase L. So literary work or literature with capitalized L means karya sastra yang diagungkan, karya sastra yang dianggap besar, karya sastra yang this one, literary, the elite product of artists of language, the work of literary genuines who appeal to advanced readers with higher concerns. So here, with uh, yeah, the uppercase L means the 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 good one, ya, the literary works that is very agung, ya, dengan segala gambaran atau cerita dalam karya sastra tersebut yang dianggap agung, yang dianggap tidak picisan gitu ya. Nah, and then on the other hand, literature with lower case L is the opposite. So it's sastra with the very simple stories, or sastra with such a very trivial concerns of life. Nah, itu dianggap sebagai karya sastra yang apa ya, remeh temeh, yang murah gitu ya. So that's why here are the debates, ya. Well, actually we can we can ask yourself whether is there any karya sastra yang remeh temeh, ya. Bukankah semua karya sastra itu diciptakan dari hasil pengalaman hidup manusia, ya, yang merekat segala black and white, morality, and so on and so forth. Jadi tentu saja sebenarnya tidak ada itu karya sastra yang remeh temeh. Pasti semua karya sastra punya muatan tersendiri yang ingin disampaikan oleh para penulisnya. Okay? Atau ya, itulah yang menyebabkan that today literature remains a contested term, ya, karena because some people think that literature itu hanya capital L, literary works yang hanya very great one like Shakespeare's work misalnya, seperti itu ya. Sedang karya-karya yang tidak terkenal atau karya-karya yang populer itu bukan sastra gitu ya, bukan sastra yang agung gitu. So that is the contested term that is living in the discussion of literary works, ya. Kemudian however, we can always agree that, yeah, after all, literature is highly valued kind of writing, yeah. I do that you agree with this statement, right? Okay, so definitions of literature, yeah, also offers this, yeah. Those who advocates definition of literature often embrace new literary forms, yeah, but trip over examples at the fingers of extremes. Okay, so these are the explanation or the definitions of literature brought by Coach. Okay, now in the end of this session, the first part of the review, I do hope that you understand now what is literature, and then the definitions, and also the issue about literature itself. Okay, if you do have questions, keep your questions, then you can address the questions during our video conference. Next is the second part is about literary genre prose, yeah. The explanation will be a bit longer. So we discuss about the definitions and also the elements. Okay, let's start with the definition first, yeah. When defining prose, yeah, we have to remember that this, classification confusion is happening too when we discuss what is actually prose, yeah. So here Cleller mentioned that literary works are, put in a different genres, yeah. kemudian which has seen the produced number of divergent, sometimes even contradictory categories. So you underline that. So when people try to classify, or this belongs to prose, this belongs to non-prose, yeah, but actually there are contradictory categories, right? You have to be aware about this. So that's why I'm giving you an example here, and a definition brought by Cleller. Right here, he proposed that literary literature, yeah, can be divided into this genre, yeah, right? Epic, drama, poetry, right? And also he also admits that recent classification prefer the terms fiction, drama, poetry, right? So here are the changing, here are some what is it, changing terms, yeah, shifting that happens also in the definitions of prose, yeah, even here, as well as those of film for textual manifestation in the wider sense of the term. It's also considered as literary genres, right? Okay, now Coach also argues that drama, poetry, and prose, yeah, are considered as the most significant genre, right? So you have to remember this: drama, poetry, and prose. And in our study program, you guys are going to learn about this, yeah, in a uh, what is it, like in a certain subject, yeah. So we have drama, poetry, and also prose. Okay, one thing that you have to remember is, yet that list is also subject to revision. Okay, so it means that it's changing. Now, one example of the literary development that is happening nowadays, yeah, by the help, or by the definite the development of technology, so we have this type of new literary works, yeah. So we have this type of new prose, right, uh, that we are, or you guys, or we guys as readers may encounter when we go to the bookstores and so on and so forth. Okay, so things like travel writing, you may have you may have read some of them probably, or things like graphic novels, yeah. So these are also considered as a new type of prose, yeah, or development of prose. And also flash fictions, right? So these are the what is it, the new form of prose. Okay, next is more definitions about prose. I just want to highlight some important points here. Okay, well, generally the meaning of prose actually covers nearly everything that is not poetry and drama. You can differentiate, right? Prose atau prosa yang dalam bahasa Indonesia itu bentuknya adalah berparagraf ke bawah gitu ya, full of writing, right? And then poetry atau puisi dalam bahasa Indonesia, you know, right? You know puisi, right? Usually they are in lyrics or in stanza, right? Or you can also recognize drama, right? When we know drama means the the drama, or the text of drama itself, yeah. There are dialogues, there are explanation of settings, so things like that. So generally type of literary works is or prose is divine other than poetry and drama. Okay, this is the explanation, yeah, you can read by yourself. Kemudian however, Coach also differentiate that prose into two types: the fictional one and non-fictional one. You know the word fiction, right? Fiction means, well, it based on imagination, and non-fiction means, based on non-imagination. It can be true stories, it can be so here the examples, yeah, I put some example here. The latter, that is the non-fiction, are literary essay, biographies, memoir, and also histories, right? So those are the example of prose, which is non-fictional ones. Okay, so yeah, when we talk about prose, yeah, we the studies also provide different names, yeah, for for categorizing different type of prose, yeah. This you can read yourself in your book later on. We have the historical novel, satirical novel, utopian novel, and if you do have some questions about this type of prose, you can always keep your question and then have a discussion. Okay, when we talk about element of prose, Claller highlight that plot, character, narrative perspective, and setting are most important parts of prose elements or elements of prose. So, and then on the other hand, Sylvian Barnett and friends includes theme, yeah, as one of important elements. So besides plot, character, narrative perspective, and setting, there is also theme that is important along with plot, character, this one, yeah. So what are different is about allegory and symbolism. Allegory and symbolism is also considered as elements of prose according to Sylvian and Bennett. What about our class? So in our class we are going to discuss theme, character, characterization, plot, and point of view. Okay, because I will only discuss these four uh, elements of prose, so you better equip yourself, you better study yourself about other elements of prose that you may want to know in detail. Okay, so themes, yeah, basically themes is about what the work is about, right? or um, or an underlying idea of the work. Okay, so when you want to detect, yeah, what is the theme of the story or what is the theme of the prose, you you can tell that the feeling that a story is about something, that is the theme, right? And then, okay, you may think of some examples, and then we can do the Q&A later in our video conference, yeah, to discuss of the examples. Okay, and the next is character and characterization. Character and characterization, when we talk about or when we mention about character, yeah, we refer to two different things. Okay, a character as a figure and character as a personality or characterization. So when you see Great Gatsby, for example, you will see the character and characterization. The character is Gatsby, yeah, and then the character as personality or characterization, you can tell about how how his trait, ya, like sifatnya, penampilannya, dan seterusnya. Itu lebih kepada karakter sebagai personality atau characterization. Okay. Okay, these are also provided in your module. Yeah, we have flat and round character. We also have typified characters or individualized character, and then modes of presentation. You can see here how to understand characters can be done by the explanatory method, narration, dramatic method, dialogue, and so on. Then you can read it in your head. And the next is plot. Plot means plot is the episode, yeah, in a narrative that tells us what is actually happening or what happens. Okay, so plots itself, it has this what is it? It has this pattern, yeah, exposition, complication, climax, and also resolution. Well, for detailed explanation, you can out. And the last is point of view. Point of view is actually the narrative perspective. Yeah, so it's like from which part or from which position you actually see or the story is actually narrated to the reader. Okay, so that is point of view. Okay, yeah, the common manifestation of point of view are usually like this. Yeah, first person, figural narrative situation, or omniscient point of view. Okay, you can read it out. Okay, so thus far we discuss about prose, the prose, yeah, the definitions of prose, and also some elements of prose, theme, character, characterization, plot, and point of view. These elements, yeah, you have to choose one, yeah, when you want to analyze Great Gatsby. So analyzing Great Gatsby is based on or using one point from these four uh, elements of prose. Yeah, you can only choose one. Okay, yes, thank you.